A quest to tell the love of my life. It all started when I was a teenager. I met her in high school and we instantly clicked. We were both into the same music, had the same sense of humor, and had an unspoken connection that I couldn't explain. Her name was Emily, and she quickly became the love of my life. The problem was, I was too scared to tell her how I felt. I was afraid of rejection, afraid of ruining our friendship, and afraid of what would happen if I put my heart on the line. So, I kept my feelings to myself and watched as she dated other guys, hoping that one day she would see me in a different light. Years went by and we went to different colleges, but we still kept in touch. We would call each other and talk for hours about everything and nothing. We were still just friends, but I still had feelings for her. I tried to date other girls, but no one could compare to Emily. After college, we both moved back to our hometown and started our careers. We still talked on the phone and texted, but we didn't see each other as often. One day, we ran into each other at a coffee shop and it was like no time had passed. We sat down and caught up on everything that had happened since we last saw each other. As we were talking, I realized that I still had feelings for her. I couldn't keep pretending that we were just friends anymore. I knew that I had to tell her how I felt, but I didn't know how. I didn't want to ruin our friendship or make things awkward between us. I spent the next few weeks trying to come up with a plan. I wanted to tell her how I felt, but I wanted to do it in a way that wouldn't scare her off. I decided that I would write her a letter. That way, she could read it in her own time and wouldn't feel pressured to respond right away. I spent hours writing and rewriting the letter, trying to find the perfect words. I poured my heart out onto the paper, telling her how I had felt for years and how I couldn't imagine my life without her. I sealed the letter in an envelope and left it on her doorstep. The next few days were torture. I couldn't focus on anything else. I kept checking my phone, hoping that she would call or text me. I didn't know if she had received the letter or if she had read it yet. I was a ball of nerves, waiting for her response. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she called me. She said that she had read the letter and that she needed some time to process everything. I was relieved that she didn't reject me right away, but I was still scared that she might not feel the same way. A few days later, we met up at a park to talk. She told me that she had always thought of me as just a friend, but that she was willing to give us a chance. We started dating and it was like a dream come true. We were finally together and I couldn't believe that I had waited so long to tell her how I felt. Our relationship was amazing. We had so much in common and we were always laughing and having fun together. We talked about everything and anything, and we were open and honest with each other. I had never been happier. Emily's job offer was in another state, and I knew that it meant we would have to do long distance. We had only been together for a few months, but I was already so in love with her that the thought of being apart was unbearable. We talked about it and decided that we would try to make it work. We would call each other every day, video chat, and plan visits whenever we could. I was determined to make it work because I couldn't imagine my life without her. The first few weeks were tough, but we managed. We would text each other throughout the day, send each other pictures, and talk on the phone at night. It wasn't the same as being together in person, but it was better than nothing. But then, things started to change again. Emily started to become distant. She wouldn't answer my calls as often, and when she did, she seemed distracted. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. One day, Emily called me and told me that she had met someone else. My heart sank. I couldn't believe it. I thought we had something special, and now it was over. She told me that she still cared about me and wanted to be friends, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't be just friends with someone who had broken my heart. I told her that I needed some time to think and hung up the phone. The next few weeks were a blur. I was heartbroken and couldn't eat or sleep. I felt like my whole world had come crashing down. I didn't know what to do. Slowly but surely, I started to pick myself up again. I started working out, eating healthier, and spending more time with my friends. I tried to focus on the things that made me happy and to move on from Emily. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I realized that I had put too much of my happiness in someone else's hands and that I needed to find happiness within myself. I started to focus on my career and my personal goals, and I found that I was happier than I had been in a long time. A few months went by, and Emily called me again. She apologized for how things had ended between us and told me that she missed me. She said that she had made a mistake and that she realized now that she had feelings for me all along. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to forgive her and give us another chance, but another part of me was scared of getting hurt again. I told her that I needed some time to think about it and that I would get back to her. After a few days of thinking, I realized that I still loved Emily. Despite everything that had happened, I couldn't imagine my life without her. I decided to give us another chance and we started dating again. This time, things were different. We had both grown and learned from our mistakes, and we were more open and honest with each other. We communicated better and were more understanding of each other's needs. We moved in together and started building a life together. We traveled, explored new hobbies, and supported each other through everything. It wasn't always easy, but we were committed to making it work. Years went by, and we got married. We stood in front of our family and friends and promised to love each other for better or for worse. It was the happiest day of my life, and I knew that I had finally found my happily ever after.